Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Today's video is about top 3 greatest pound for pound ever for flyweight, 112 pounds. Okay? Uh, but before that, we are going to review again what is the meaning, the definition of pound for pound greatest for a fighter, a boxer to become a pound for pound great. So there are two categories to identify, to recognize if a boxer, a fighter, uh, be named, be called a pound for pound great or greatest. One, um, a boxer, a fighter needs to accomplish above and beyond. All right, he need to achieve extraordinary, okay, above the normal, above the usual, okay. So a fighter needs to risk his record, risk his life, uh, in order to aim much higher than the normal, than the usual, okay. The second category is that a fighter must be or should be a crowd pleaser, uh, a, uh, a character that able to gather people to watch him live inside the arena or by pay-per-views. A charismatic fighter, a charismatic boxer, okay. Because a combat sports like boxing and MMA, it's a prize fighting, meaning people needs to spend money to buy tickets to watch the fight. So those people who spend money to watch them needs to be excited, needs to be entertained, because the any fighter, boxer are entertainers also, but in a form of combat, in a form of fighting, boxing. All right. Okay. Now, from my previous videos, I am sharing you the top 3 greatest fighter ever from the heavyweight, okay, 200 and plus pounds, light heavyweight, 175 pounds, middleweight, 160 pounds, lightweight, 135 pounds, and yesterday, super featherweight, which is 130 pounds. Okay? So, again, the top 3 greatest heavyweight fighter ever, pound for pound. Number 3, uh, Larry Holmes. Okay? And then number 2 is Muhammad Ali. And then number 1 is Joe Louis. As I've written on my description below, kindly check it, read it in the description and my previous videos. The complete explanation, descriptions are there. Alright. Larry Holmes did defend his titles for 20 times. Okay. And Muhammad Ali is the only heavyweight champion to become lineal in 3 times. Okay. Muhammad Ali, the only 3 times lineal champion in the heavyweight. Okay. But there's a catch there. That's why he is the number 2, not number 1, because there are 4 heavyweight champions that were already 2 times lineal champion, and those names are Floyd Patterson, George Foreman, Lennox Lewis, and Evander Holyfield. Okay, and then the number 1 greatest heavyweight fighter ever is Joe Louis. Why? Because he defended his title 25 consecutive times. 25 consecutive times. That is so amazing. So insane. That's extraordinary. That's what we call above and beyond the normal, above and beyond the usual. Okay. Now let's move on to light heavyweight, 175 pounds. The number 3 is Roy Jones Jr. Okay. Number 2 is Michael Spinks. And the number 1 greatest light heavyweight is R.G. Moore. By the way, R.G. Moore is the record holder in the boxing history, the most numbers of knockouts. Out of his 186 wins, he got 145 knockouts. Imagine, from 186 wins, 145 of those are via knockouts. And that is R.G. Moore. Alright, the greatest light heavyweight fighter ever, 175 pounds. Alright. And he moved up, of course, he wants to risk his record, his life, and he challenged then the heavyweight champion back then, Rocky Marciano, and he lost. R.G. Moore lost to Rocky Marciano. And by the way, Rocky Marciano, though he is an undefeated heavyweight champion with 49-0 record, he is not on our top 3. And I'm sure very, very sure he's not even on top 5 or top 10. There are a lot of greater heavyweight fighter than Rocky Marciano. Okay, let's move on to middleweight. Okay, middleweight, 160 pounds. Number 3 is Bernard Hopkins. He defended his title 21 times. Bernard Hopkins. And some of those are undisputed. Okay, when he fought and beat Felix Trinidad. And by the way, talking about the Bernard Hopkins, on his middleweight 160 pounds category, he got two all-time greats names there on his resume. 2. One is Oscar De La Hoya and the other one is Felix Tito Trinidad. Okay. And then the number 1 middleweight, number 2, by the way, number 3 is Bernard Hopkins, number 2 is Marvin Marvelous Hagler, or Marvelous Marvin Hagler, number 2, okay. Greatest. And the number 1 is Sugar Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson, okay. By the way, Ray Robinson is the only boxer to be named and awarded as Fighter of the Decade for the 1940s and 1950s. So 2 decades, 1940s and 1950s. Fighter of the Decade, Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson. That's how great Ray Robinson is. That's why a lot of boxing publications, boxing pundits recognize him as the GOAT, greatest of all time, to any weight classes, to different weight classes. Okay. Now let's move on to middleweight, lightweight. Okay. The top 3, number 3 greatest 135 pounds, none other than Shane Mosley, Sugar Shane Mosley. He defended his title 9 times. And by the way, it's all by knockouts. All of the 9 title defenses of Sugar Shane Mosley, they are all by stoppage. And after that, he moved up to welterweight. Okay? Shane Mosley, Sugar Shane Mosley. 9 title defenses, all by knockouts, stoppages. And number 2, greatest lightweight, 135 pounds, is, let's move on first to number 1. The Hands of Stone from Panama, Roberto Duran. So yeah, Roberto Duran is the greatest lightweight fighter ever. Okay, hands down. To this date, no one can beat Roberto Duran's um, record at the how to say it, at lightweight. And now I remember the second greatest lightweight fighter ever is Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker. Okay, so undisputed champion at lightweight, lineal champion, one of the all-time greats, and one of the, if not the very best defensive boxer. Aside from Willie Pip, Pernell Whitaker, in my observation, in my search and observation, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker is the very best defensive boxer. If not second to Willie Pip. That's how great defensive boxer Pernell Whitaker. And now, from the yesterday's video is about the top 3 greatest super featherweight, 130 pounds. Number 3, from the Philippines, the Filipino Flash. No, not the Filipino Flash. Gabriel Flash Elorde. Alright? Gabriel Flash Elorde. Okay, and then number 2 super featherweight, Azuma Nelson from Accra, Ghana. From Accra, Ghana. Azuma Nelson. Okay, and number 1 super featherweight, greatest 130 pounds is Brian Mitchell. Brian Mitchell from South Africa. Okay, so they are so great, legends, and one of the all-time greats on those weight classes. Again, we are basing all this recognition to them are based on facts. We are basing on records. We are basing on datas, not opinions, because opinions are nonsense. Those are BS. It can sway. People can be clouded if you are a fanatic for a boxer A or boxer B. So it should be based on datas, based on facts, based on records. We have to avoid, or we have to prevent these words could have, should have, would have. Okay, we just based on datas. All right, we should not be hypocrites or double standard. We have to practice honesty. We have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Just be honest, be truthful, based on datas, based on records, based on facts, not opinions. No opinions. Again, opinions is swayed. Okay, because as a human being, we tend to favor to one fighter to other fighter, or one boxer to other boxer, but just on the facts. Okay, we'll just stick to the facts, stick to the data, to the records. All right, and now to our video for today, which is the top 3 greatest flyweight fighter ever, pound for pound, 112 pounds, 112. Okay, for the number 3, 2 of them are on the top 3. 2 of them, 2 of the all-time greats. One, the other like 3A and 3B, something like that. Top 3 Alpha, top 3 Bravo. Is Jimmy Wildie. Okay, Jimmy Wildie. Jimmy Wildie won the World Flyweight Champion. Okay, and defended it 3 times. Okay, and according to the record books, until now, he has the longest winning streak. Okay, longest winning streak. Jimmy Wildie. I believe it's, excuse me, 93 and 0, 93 wins, 0 loss, 1 draw. That's Jimmy Wildie, the longest winning streak. And when he became the world flyweight champion, he defended it 3 times. Now, the other fighter that is equal to him at top 3 is from the Philippines, Pancho Villa, or the real name is Francisco Gilido. Alright? That's the real name of Pancho Villa, no, during the 1920s. In the 1920s, at the age of 23, he died. Okay? He died due to tooth or teeth infection. By the way, a little information, okay, about Pancho Villa. During his last fight, the very morning before his fight at that night, he got a tooth extraction, okay? He got extracted his tooth, okay? And then even with those pain, his own pain and swelling, he continued that fight that night. Remember, that same day. Night is fighting, morning, he got a tooth extraction. Okay? And then, of course, it's painful and swelling. The one hand is covering the teeth, the other one is just doing the job. And of course, the result is he lost the fight. But he finished it via decision. He finished it. He completed the entire fight. He was not get knocked out, no. And then following days, the dentist found out that he got severe tooth infection. He got surgery of the teeth, extracted another multiple teeth, like 2 or 3 teeth, another 2 or another 3, and then eventually after a day or 2 days, he died because of that tooth extraction infection, and it worsened. And the great Pancho Villa, aka Francisco Gilido, died at age of 23, same age of Salvador Sanchez. When Salvador Sanchez, one of the greatest Mexican boxer, one of the greatest featherweight, 126 pounds champion, Salvador Sanchez of Mexico, died at age of 23. And there is one boxer now, current boxer champion, that is age of 23, and that is Devin Haney. The current lightweight, 135 pounds, undisputed champion, who just fought like a month ago against Vasily Lomachenko, wherein the result was a highly controversial decision. Very highly controversial 3 question mark decision in favor to Devin Haney, now a 23-year-old. Okay, now let's move on to the number 2 greatest flyweight fighter ever, pound for pound, is Pascual Perez from Argentina. So he is an Argentinian. By the way, Jimmy Wildie is Welsh, from Wales, United Kingdom. And Pancho Villa is a Filipino, of course, from the Philippines, from Iloilo, Philippines. And the number 2 greatest flyweight, 112 pounds, is Pascual Perez from Argentina. Alright? From Argentina. And then, yeah, he is so great. And all of them are so small. Because, of course, 112 pounds. And the tallest of them all is Jimmy Wildie. Jimmy Wildie was 5 feet 2 inches. Okay? 5 feet 2 inches. And again, when he won the World Flyweight title, he defended it 5 times. Okay? 5 times. While Pancho Villa when he beat the world flyweight title from Jimmy Wildie. By the way, Pancho Villa beat Jimmy Wildie, and it was held in Manila, Philippines. And Pancho Villa defended that world flyweight title and the ring. Okay, remember this. The world flyweight, it was called then NBA, not National Boxing, not Basketball Association, but National Boxing Association. And eventually it changed to WBA, World Boxing Association. So Pancho Villa defended the title plus the ring flyweight for 3 times. Okay? While the number 2, Pascual Perez, he won the world flyweight title and the ring. Okay? The ring. The Lineal championship title. Okay? And he defended it. Okay? He defended it 9 times. Pascual Perez defended the world flyweight title, the ring flyweight title, the Lineal, 9 times. Imagine yan, 9 times. Jimmy Wildie defended it 5 times, right? Jimmy Wildie 5 times. Pancho Villa defended it 3 times, okay? Pascual Perez defended the world flyweight title plus the ring and the Lineal 9 times. He is an Argentinian, okay? And his height is 4'11". 4 feet 11 inches. Pascual Perez from Argentina. Okay? And by the way, Pancho Villa is 5 feet 1 inch. 5'1". Jimmy Wildie is 5'2". Okay? Jimmy Wildie is 5'2", 5 feet 2 inches. Pancho Villa is 5 feet 1 inch. Pascual Perez is 4 feet 11 inches. Again, he defended the world flyweight title and the ring, the Lineal, 9 times. Now let's move on to the number 1 greatest flyweight, 112 pounds fighter ever, pound for pound. None other than from Mexico. Okay, from Mexico, a Mexican warrior. A Mexican warrior. The name is Miguel Canto. Miguel Canto. The number 1 flyweight, 112 pounds, pound for pound fighter ever. Okay. He won the world flyweight title championships, and he defended it 14 times. 10 and 4. 14. 1, 4 times. 14 times. That's how great Miguel Canto back then. Okay. And his height is, you know the height? Is 5 flat. 5 feet. Flat 5 feet. 5 feet. 0 inches. That's the height of Miguel Canto from Mexico. Okay. And yeah, 14 times. 14 times he defended his World Flyweight Championships, the World Boxing Council, plus the ring, okay? The WBC and the ring, the Lineal Championships. Defended it 14 times, 1-4. So number 1 is Miguel Canto. Won the WBC and the ring, the Lineal title. Defended it 14 times, okay? 14. The number 2 is Pascual Perez, Argentinian. Won the World Flyweight title and the ring. Defended it 9 times, okay? And then the number 3, we had 2, okay? I had 2 top 3. 3 Alpha and 3 Bravo, something like that. Okay. Jimmy Wildie won the World Flyweight Championship, defended it 5 times, while Pancho Villa won the World Flyweight by beating Jimmy Wildie. Pancho Villa beat Jimmy Wildie. Won that World Flyweight title and the ring. the Lineal Championship, defended it 3 times. Okay. Now the question would be like this, because there's a lot of great fighters today. And there is one name, I can give you one name, that eventually, someday it might make some, depending on the categories, but the categories to conclude if you are a pound for pound fighter, as I've said it many times from my previous videos, even years before, months, weeks, and my previous videos the other days and today, a pound for pound greatest fighter ever should be doing or did accomplish above and beyond, extraordinary, above the normal. And there's a one fighter in flyweight, 112 pounds, from Thailand. So he's a Thai. His name is Pongsaklek Wonjongkam. Again, his name is Pongsaklek Wonjongkam. You know the story about that? He won the flyweight world championships, okay, the Lineal, the WBC and the Lineal, from Malcolm Tonyakaw of the Philippines. And then he defended that title, that WBC and the Lineal, for 17 times. Straight 17. 1-7 times. Okay? And then after that, he lost the title to he lost the title. Okay? And then after that, he won again the title. Okay? He won the WBC, The Ring, the Lineal Championships, the 112 pounds. Again, we are talking about 112 flyweight. And he defended it 5 times. So imagine that. First reign, he did 17 consecutive times, 17 title defenses. Okay, and then he lost. Then he won again and defended that title 5 times. Okay, and then he lost to Sunny Boy Haro of the Philippines. The WBC, the Ring, and the Lineal title. So, he got that flyweight WBC and the Lineal Championship from a Filipino, Malcolm Tonyakaw. And then the very last, to the end of his career, he lost the WBC, the Ring, the Lineal flyweight title to a Filipino, Sunny Boy Haro. So, you should have a question. How come this Thai legend, boxing legend from Thailand, Pongsaklek Wonjongkam, with these title defenses, is not on the top 1, is not on the top 2, or not even on top 3? That should be a valid questions. Because of we base on that, and then people, the boxing purists or the boxing aficionados around the world, okay? We're talking about around the world because this is pound for pound greatest fighter ever. Those fight enthusiasts, fight aficionado, will be scrutinizing, criticizing how come there's a fighter from this country has a lot of number of wins. Example, 100 wins. And the questions would be, who are those opponents? Who are those names? Are they legit fighters? Are they champions? Are those fighters already past their prime, washed up, or are they still green? Are they still newcomers? Like that. And then, some boxing purists, some boxing writers, boxing analysts would ask, why is this fighter from another country had less than fights, number of fights for that particular division? Like, let's say example, only, let's say 5 fights on that division, but all the 5 fights or 4 fights against all-time greats, against Hall of Famer. So which of those two are the number of wins to be the number one, or the number of all-time greats he beat? See, that's a valid question. That's a very valid question when it comes to naming, choosing, recognizing a pound-for-pound greatest fighter, boxer ever. Okay? And as I've said it many times, it is based on facts. We should always based on facts, based on data, based on records, not opinions. No, it's again, opinions is in gray lane, gray area, because a person is tend to be swayed, tend to favor to one fighter against another, because a combat sport, even in any sports, it will always be, and it's always a racial or regional or ethnical event. So a person or a people or an organization tend to be swayed, tend to favor one. So we'll just stick on records, what is on the datas, on the record books. So then we will base it there, so that to avoid, to prevent unequal or bias. Okay? Again, we should practice honesty. We should practice truthfulness all the time. Okay? Especially when you and I, we are naming pound for pound greatest fighter ever on each particular division, from flyweight, as I mentioned today, flyweight, and then yesterday, super featherweight, the other day is lightweight, a previous days is middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. So we need to practice honesty in naming, recognizing the number 1, number 2, number 3 greatest. So based on facts, data, records, no opinions. Again, opinions are BS, nonsense. It is bias and it is unfair. All right? Also we base on black and white figures. Okay? Figures don't lie, but opinions lie, because it is ethnical, it is regional, regionalistic, it is similar to racism, to patriotism to each country, patriotism to each person. All right? Okay. So again, our top 3 greatest flyweight 112 pounds fighter ever, pound for pound. Our number 3, we have 2. Okay? This is 3, we have 2 here. Okay? One is Jimmy Wildie. The other one is Pancho Villa. Top 2 is Pascual Perez. Then top 1 is Miguel Canto. Miguel Canto, a Mexican, defended his title 14 times, won 4 times. Pascual Perez, Argentinian, from Argentina, defended his title 9 times. Okay? Pancho Villa, a Filipino, aka Francisco Gilido, defended his title 3 times. Jimmy Wildie, a Welsh, from Wales, United Kingdom, he defended his title 5 times. Pancho Villa beat Jimmy Wildie for the World Flyweight Championships. Okay? At age of 23, Pancho Villa died already. And by the way, about Pancho Villa, his boxing lifespan is only 6 years. Pancho Villa only have in boxing profession for 6 years. Again, he died at age of 23, and his record is 77 wins, 77 wins, 22 by knockouts, 4 losses, and 4 draws. Pancho Villa of the Philippines. Okay? only 6 years in his boxing profession, died at age of 23. The same of the great Mexican fighter Salvador Sanchez, died at age of 23. 23. Alright? And Salvador Sanchez, as a reminder, he is one, if not the number one featherweight fighter ever. He defended his title 9 times, and 2 of his victims are all-time greats. Their names are Azuma Nelson and Wilfredo Gomez. Azuma Nelson, from Accra, Ghana, and Wilfredo Gomez, Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico. Alright? Until next time, be safe, stay blessed, and be truthful, especially naming to the greatest fighter, okay? Based only on facts, not opinions, okay? Based on facts, based on data, records, based on what is in the black and white record books, not opinions, okay? To prevent bias, do not be hypocrites, okay? Do not be double standard, because if we are double standard, then Manny Pacquiao should be the greatest super featherweight. No super featherweight 130 pounds fighter in the name of Manny Pacquiao that has 3 all-time greats on his resume. Only Manny Pacquiao on the 130 pounds. Manny Pacquiao has 3 victories against 3 all-time greats: Barrera, Morales, and Marquez in 130 pounds. So, but Pacquiao is not on the top 3. Okay? If we base that, then that's a big difference already. So, even though Pacquiao has those great achievements, he is not on the top 3 greatest super featherweight. So, for today's topic, today is Sunday, 6th of August, August 6, 2023. That's our greatest, top 3 greatest flyweight, 112 pounds. Alright? Thank you for watching and be safe. Stay blessed, everyone. I'm strong.